All right, hopefully the audio is good. A little bit of housekeeping first. Welcome to episode welcome to episode 89 of Genius Take the Wheel. I'm me, Dr. Evil Genius. I hope I titled this properly. Did I title this properly? I hope so. It Walks Among Us. And a respectful response to Alexander Bromley. I did not anticipate making any kind of response content until I belatedly checked my little YouTube inbox and saw that this content creator, who's way, way larger and way more relevant than myself, responded to my comment on his video. And so I did respond a couple of times to his comment. But now I want to address it to you guys because I just think it is very, very important for anybody that ends up watching episode 89 today. First, I'm going to hit you with this story, so bear with me. So, if I did title this correctly, episode 89's main theme is It Walks Among Us. Okay? If you're part of the replay gang, I salute you. Thank you so much. If you appreciate the content that I'm attempting to bring to you guys, definitely smack the ish out of that like button. I would really, really appreciate it. Okay. So I'm going to start with my inspirational story as I safely enter New York City traffic. Make sure nobody's behind me. I didn't even notice the truck that left while I was sitting here setting up the stream. Okay. So, way back in the days of Tinder, because I deleted that shit like over a year ago, Tinder allowed you to kind of like create a profile and like a song, like a theme song for your profile, I guess, so that whoever you're going to meet up with, they can kind of check out what kind of musical taste you have, or maybe it's kind of a theme song that maybe you don't particularly like the music, but this particular song by this particular artist says a lot about you or how you want to project yourself to the world. So when Coheed and Cambria came out with Unheavenly Creatures in 2018, before the world went to COVID shit, they had a song on there called It Walks Among Us. And there is just something about that song that just puts me in a different headspace. It's very difficult to really put a finger. It's a groove thing. It's a mentality thing. It's a messaging thing. I don't know if other people have been affected like this, but this is why I wore my Coheed hoodie today. Because I really wanted to talk about how that song affected me, because I was actually talking to a client the other night, and she was talking something about particular songs that she could just listen to over and over and over and over and over again. Now, there have been some songs, particularly by Nas, that I've been like really listening to over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But she's foreign. We'll say she's foreign. She's not gonna really understand the hip hop thing. So I try to think of one Coheed song that I can just listen to over and over and over and over and over again. And the song that really popped up for me, among others, was It Walks Among Us. And I hadn't listened to the song in a long time, but I went and I played it for her, and it just, all of these feelings came back. And so, I have one of those brains where, certain melodies will just play over and over and over in my brain, even in my sleep. I'll become semi-conscious at night, and there's a song playing in my head, whether I want it to or not. Very annoying. But that song would come up, or some other annoying song would come up, and I'll try to like change it to something I actually want to have playing over and over and over and over in my head. And that song is what it is right now. So I was really struggling, to get up today, and that song was kind of playing in my head. So I put on my headphones even before I put on my shirt. And I'm like, um, like I want to hear this song. And for some reason, it motivated me. And, there's a line in the chorus that says, if you want it all, my dear, go out and get it. And I just play that shit over and over, that part of the chorus over and over in my head. And I also noticed something, like, not only was it like really motivating to get out of the house to go do this leg workout, that my confidence was super high going in until I got to the gym and I dropped a 45-pound plate on my middle finger. I dropped the plate on my finger, crushed it between one 45-pound plate and another 45-pound plate. That didn't feel good. That kind of took a little bit of my mojo off. But I don't know, maybe I just didn't have the same physical energy that I thought I had going in, because my confidence was really high. I'm going to hit these 9 reps today. And I got to say, I went back to like listening to different podcasts or whatever. And after the third set of 9, man, my legs were really, really feeling it. So I said, let me just kind of like run this little mental experiment real quick. And I'm going to play this song again during set 4 and see how I feel. Strangely enough, a lot of the negative voices in my head went away because I was focused on the song. And I actually felt less pressure pain in my quads pushing that goddamn platform than I did in the first 3. I mean, yeah, I was really tired and I was wobbly afterwards, but the discomfort during was significantly reduced. So I did it again on set 5 and got through it pretty okay. So I did get the 45 reps that I set out for today. Clone Force 99, that Knicks versus 76ers game. I'll talk about it. I'll definitely talk about it at the end now that you mentioned it. I don't know, how many people are New Yorkers that come through my stream. Obviously, I'm a New Yorker. But we will talk about that ridiculous fucking Reggie Miller ass finish last night because you want to. But yeah, so like, hey, Guardians of Chaos, please don't ban anyone in my chat. I got to give you a wrench. Just because you're that dude, you're him. I got to get you a wrench at some point. Maybe when I'm doing one of my gaming live streams, you come back. You get honorary mod privileges here. Not that it really means that much. My platform here is very small. But yeah, so I got through sets 4 and 5. Playing the song, man, and so I put the song in the title. There's a weird, creepy groove to it, and then when the chorus hits you, I don't know, it fills my soul with tremendous positive energy in some weird way. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. Now, to the meat and potatoes, guys, I got to talk to you guys about, and please look at the description. I want to make it very, very clear that this is not a diss video. This is not a diss. Okay? The content creator that I'm referring to, I do respect him. He's an accomplished strength athlete, coach, a successful man, a successful YouTuber. This is not to denigrate this man at all. It is to provide a lesson, especially to the rest of us men, when it comes to dealing with other men in society. So, Alexander Bromley is who I'm talking about here. If you ever see this, understand that I mean this with all the love in the world. Sometimes some messages that we need to hear to make ourselves better citizens of the world. And in your case, and in my case, since we're both coaches, to make us better, and even if not better, more effective coaches, because that's what this is about here. Okay, Alexander Bromley put out a video, and I like his content, so I watch his content pretty often. He has like 220 something thousand subscribers. He is relevant on YouTube. I'm not. So this is not, I'm better than him or anything like this. I need to make this point because it's about being effective as a productive male member of society and as coaches, effective coaches. And I'm going to keep using that word, effective. So he put out a video recently about, basically the preferences that women have as far as men's aesthetics. And, the idea is, a lot of us guys assume that every woman wants, Chris Hemsworth or Dwayne The Rock Johnson or the guy that plays Reacher. I forget his name off the top of my head. Something of that nature. Okay, and so sometimes we can get a little bit in our head and kind of miss the forest for the trees. Thinking, oh, I just need to get, swole and all the ladies will love me. And then you get swole and you realize it's not really what it is. But one of the things that struck me that really precluded me from even watching the rest of the video, because again, it's about being an effective, not just a good orator, not just a good displayer of information, but an effective displayer of information, an effective orator. 90 seconds into the video, I clicked off the video. And I like to watch his videos, but I really had heard enough because the first 90 seconds is the same song and dance that we hear from society about men, which is, you're weak, stop whining, man up, just deal with it, shut up. And for me, I've been a coach for over 12 years now. I understand dealing with both male and female clients, that is not an effective way to reach other people depending on the position that you're in. If you're David Goggins and that's your whole shtick, do you. David Goggins has probably gotten filthy rich with that approach. However, as coaches, actual real coaches that are trying to be effective, it is important to first figure out who your audience is, level with that audience first, then give them the tough love. So I'm not saying that you should never say anything harsh to men. We understand as men, we have to communicate with men a certain way. However, our mainstream media over the last half a century has been, men, you're awful, evil, terrible, toxic masculinity. You're bad because you're born with a penis. You're weak. You're this, you're that. Now pay for all my bills. Pay for all of society's ills and woes. And then when some other country decides to be aggressive, just go and throw your lives away in some war. And that's it. And the thing is that in past generations, that message would have been received and you would have gotten a positive reaction from that. But it is no longer effective to take this approach with men in our society circa 2024. It is not effective. So even if you are saying something that is generally positive and something that men need to hear, if you do not level with the men first, you're going to lose them. So that was one of the things that I had to say. Who is this in the chat here? Mexi Paxi Edits. What's up? So one of the things I said is like, your inability to understand the struggles of other men do not really make you a great source of advice, because you can't really relate, or whatever. And so if you can't relate, and you can't, like, if you can't show any kind of empathy for the listener, you're going to lose them. And you can say that men are weak, you can say they're this, you can say they're that, but fact remains is that if you're just another one of these tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of voices among men and women that show they do not care about men, come on, guy, go. You got your turn signal on. Go. Wow, a cab driver puts on his turn signal and then doesn't want to switch lanes. Come on, guy. So if you're one of these millions of voices that's spewing the same man up stuff, even if what you're saying is 1000% accurate, your voice will fall largely on deaf ears. Because I've got news for you. Men are tired of hearing the same shut up and suffer. Men are tired of it. Strong men, weak men, men all across the spectrum are tired of hearing, we don't care about you, just shut up, be productive, and give women all your money. Men are tired of it. They're tired of it. So he actually responded to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And his thing was like, yeah, I do have empathy for these guys, but I'm not going to enable them. That was basically what he said. There was nothing in the introduction of his video that led me to believe that he felt empathy for any of these men. So even if you do have the empathy, if you don't at least level with the person first and say, listen, I understand there's a lot of issues in society today, there's a lot of struggles, but I want to let you know, you got to keep pressing on. You can't give up. You can't give in. You still have to honor your part of the societal contract as a man, even if other people in society may not be holding up their end. And that's completely fine. It's complete, but you have to level with the men first to say, first of all, I see and hear you first. You're a human being worth recognizing. Your struggles are worth noting. Your struggles are worth some sort of empathy before I join the chorus of all of these tens, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people that are going to tell you, despite all the stuff and all the obstacles, and you getting no reward for all of your contributions to society, just man up. Okay? So even if you are a man that does feel empathy, it is important to actually express it. It's actually important to express it. Because if you don't, even if your words are accurate, they will be ineffective. Because we've already heard this song and dance before. We've heard all the man up content. We've heard all the shut up and dribble type content. We heard it all already. We know, we get it. Nobody cares. But what incentive is there for the average man to continue to honor his end of the societal contract if there is nothing that he will gain from it except being told to shut up and suffer? As coaches, now I'm going to talk about this from a coaching perspective. And I realized that what I've done with this channel, shifting it away from gaming and more towards performing autopsies on my own personal fitness struggles as an experienced fitness coach. I've been in the game for more than a decade. I have gotten people unbelievable gains or helped them get themselves because they do the work. I just provide the instruction in the context. I feel that it is extremely important to make sure that you guys understand my struggles as a human being, because one of the things that I've noticed consistently, especially with new clients, is that whenever you tell somebody to do something that they don't think they can do, the first thing they want to throw in your face is, well, you're a trainer. You don't have problems with being overweight. You don't have problems with going to the gym. You don't have these kind of struggles. My struggle is unique because you can't understand what I'm going through. That is one of the reasons why I do these streams for you guys. Yes, I've been a trainer for over 12 years. Yes, I have the most muscle on my skinny skeletal frame than I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm staring age 41 in the face with no TRT, no Tremboloni sandwiches. I'm not out here talking about how I'm over here moving this heavy weight and it ain't nothing but a peanut and lightweight, baby. I'm out here letting you know, yo, I have some serious fucking struggles. This shit is fucking difficult. It is difficult to get up early in the morning. It's hard. It's difficult. I struggle. Yes, I've got a great physique. Yes, I've had some really nice accomplishments in the gym. But I struggle just as much, if not more, than some of you out there. And I want to let you know that you can continue on. And I hear you. I see you. I feel you. Your struggles are not for naught. Your struggles are not worthless. You are not worthless. I want to let you know, yo, there are people out there that don't look like they're struggling, but they have to talk themselves up every day to look as strong as they do. My clients think that I'm telling them to do something based upon what I can do. No, I'm reading your movement patterns. I'm reading you, and you are telling me that you can do it. You, not, it has nothing to do with my abilities. It's all you. And I get so much more out of my clients when they tend to understand, yo, this one thing that you think you can't do, well, let me show you. Let me level with you first and let you know, hey, this thing that you're struggling with, I'm going to express to you the equivalent for me, right? I had to let a lady cross the street with her dog. It looks like her dog is older, very hairy and fluffy. um, because if I can't level with them first and help them to understand that I go through the same struggles, I've come out on the other side, then they just see me as superhuman and will just dismiss everything that I'm telling them about what they can do. They're just going to dismiss what I'm saying. The only that is called Dripmaster Bentley. How you doing? That's a crazy name. They're just going to ignore what I'm telling them that they can do because they don't humanize me. I don't seem human to them because of the way that I look. I don't seem like I can struggle as much as they can because they see me and I tell them, hey, I do 10 workout sessions every week with myself. I work out 7 days a week. I did take two days off. 2 days ago, I took a day off. I did. But for the most part, it's 7 a week and 3 2-a-days. That's 10 workouts a week that I do. And you're like, oh my God, you can do all of that. That's crazy. No, I wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. And you know what ends up happening when I level with my students first? They take a deep breath, they process the spirit of what I'm saying, and then I get the absolute most out of them. Because I understand that if I just say, hey, just do this, they're just going to look at me and say, well, you're better than me. You're superior to me. No. I'm not superior to you. I am not. Every time I come to you guys with these genius take the wheel driving streams, coming home from the gym, and you guys that have been watching, and you guys can go back and watch, sometimes my struggles are in the title of the stream. Sometimes they're in the title of the stream. You guys will be able to understand and then be able to take a little morsel of what I'm trying to offer you guys, which is motivation that rehumanizes me, because coaches seem to be superhuman to their clients. And that's good for business, I guess, but it's not great for getting the best performance out of your people on a balance of probabilities. Most people are just going to be like, well, I can't do it because, you're able to do it because you've got this and that advantage and you're 6'3". Oh yeah. I hear guys talk all the time. Oh, well, it's easy for you to say you got 2 women. You're 6'3". You look like this. Blah, blah. No, I've had a lot of struggles. Mrs. Evil, if she's still here, shout out to her. She can tell you. She can tell you the struggles I've had with other women while we've been together. She'll tell you. So it's one thing to feel empathy and say, hey, back in the day, I was unattractive and I had these problems and then I just sucked it up. Well, not everybody's brain is wired that way. And I don't think anybody just sucks it up. There's some kind of turning point in their life that either creates some urgency or gives them inspiration. Not everybody is going to respond to just shut up and suffer. Not everybody's going to respond to that. And in our modern day society, I suspect most people are not going to respond to that, because that's all the content that's out there, and Americans are more miserable than ever. I don't want to throw my turn signal on in front of this guy, but I do need to switch this lane. Okay, I'll switch in front of the garbage truck. And hopefully he doesn't get too mad. And hopefully he doesn't try to speed up to block me. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. So, yeah, that's my response to Mr. Bromley. Like I said, I really do enjoy his content. That last video that I watched just really rubbed me the wrong way. It just did, because here's a guy that I really do respect. And yes, he's a straight shooter, and I respect that about him. But we don't need another voice telling people, just shut up and suffer. I don't think the world is going to benefit from that. You might inspire some people with it, but I don't think that's if it's a message that was like really truly helpful, then our society would be the best ever, and it's not. It's just not. So I would, anybody watching this, I would recommend him as somebody who talks about power lifting, strength training, the whole bit. I don't always agree with his approach or his opinions, but I respect many of his opinions and his positions on a lot of things lifting related. It's just that this thing, it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit. And as coaches, we need to make sure that we connect first, then criticize. Because in today's society, if you put the cart before the horse and all it is criticizing, and then maybe you might say something empathetic 20 minutes in, they already tuned you out from the first 30 seconds. The final thing that I'm going to talk about, because Clone Force 99 actually brought it up, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference playoffs between the 2-seed New York Knicks and the 7-seed Philadelphia 76ers. Really crazy situation coming out of that. I thought it was... I watched the whole game, except for the parts of the game where I was kind of going back and forth between the Boston Bruins playoff game against the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Mets and San Francisco Giants, which came on kind of a little bit later after that. I was kind of switching between games. But the New York Knicks really looked like they were stuck in molasses. It didn't really look like they had a whole lot of confidence. I don't want to say that Brunson, that Jalen Brunson is shrinking in the playoffs. I don't want to say that the lights are too bright, but let's just say that he's gone into a slump at the wrong time. And I think that he understands that he's gone into a slump at the wrong time and it's really messing with his confidence. He's trying to make winning plays when his shot isn't falling. You really need to get your head out of your phone when you're crossing the street. Good God. What is wrong with people? Goodness. Head down while crossing the street. The Knicks were not hitting shots. They didn't turn the ball over a whole bunch, but they were just all out of sorts. They did not really let it affect them at the defensive end of the floor. But one of the things I thought that was pretty interesting from the Philadelphia 76ers side, and I think that the New York Knicks failed to take advantage of this, Joel Embiid, his knee is really bothering him. And that's really, really evident to me. And the way that Philadelphia has approached his knee injury that he re-aggravated, throwing an alley-oop off the backboard to himself in Game 1, is, hey, Joel, just kind of stand there in the paint. Don't get a defensive 3-second violation. But we don't need you jumping to try to block shots. Just put a body in front of somebody, impede their path in the paint. But don't be aggressive on the defensive end. We need you on the offensive end. And even with the knee issue and him hobbling, you can see him limping and grimacing throughout the game. You can tell that he's willing his body to do what his brain is telling him to do. It's all will. Because you could tell that, the dude can't really get any lift on the jump shot. You could tell that, he's lost some sort of stability in his knee. He's still hitting you with that. He's still bringing the ball up the floor, still hitting you with that spin move. So they basically told him, hey, hang back on defense. We need you on offense. They were running the offense through him. He was still scoring. Him and Tyrese Maxey basically kept Philadelphia in the lead. They had a 10-point lead in the first half. The Knicks came storming back. They were down, I think, 3 or 4 at the half. They outscored Philadelphia by 9 to take a 5-point lead at the end of 3. They let Philadelphia come back. And then Bogdanovich comes off the bench, hits 2 consecutive three-pointers that I thought were going to be the dagger for Philadelphia. It's a low-scoring game. Yes, it was in the middle of the fourth quarter, but at that point, it just kind of felt like something that was going to deflate Philadelphia. Hell no. Those guys are really mentally tough. Obviously, they miss, James Harden's skill, and Joel Embiid, is having these and that issues, and they're trying to do the best. I mean, they've got one of the slowest, fattest point guards of all time in Lowry, but he's really super, super intelligent, and he's also super heady. Pause. He is a very, very strong-minded person, especially the way that he got released from Miami, come back with his hometown Philadelphia 76ers. And, he helped keep them, out of the play-in. Well, they ended up in the play-in, but he basically kept them in position to make it to the playoffs. Clone Force 90 said the 76ers played good defense on Jalen Brunson, and they put size on him. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, we've seen a lot of teams put size in him. The game that the Knicks lost in overtime to the San Antonio Spurs, where the fucking alien put 40 on them, Jalen Brunson scored 59 points in regulation, right? And he had that fucking stick bug, that 7'3" ball handling, shot blocking wizard anomaly, physical, skillful anomaly, and he scored 59 on them. And a lot of those shots were in the paint. He didn't stay behind the arc trying to avoid Wembanyama. He didn't do that. He was still going at him. So Philadelphia doing a good job on Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson would tell you that that's not an excuse. And when you see the frustration on his face, it is not because Philadelphia is playing great defense on him. They are playing great defense on him, and you are right about that. But that's not why. That's not why he's struggling. That's not why. That's not why he's frustrated. He is struggling in part because of the defense, but he's not going to take that as an excuse. He's not going to use it as an excuse. And I respect him for that. So, when the Knicks gave up the lead, and I think they went down by 4 with 69 seconds left in the game, I was like, wow, this is how they're going to lose the game. I was texting with my boy O, and after Bogdanovich hit the second three, I was just like, I think that he might have iced the game. Now, I think my first draft of that text, as I was typing it, was the Bogdan just iced the game, and then I pressed backspace a bunch of times, erased a lot of that shit, and I was like, no, I think that he might have iced the game, because I had to respect the fact that there was 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, something like that. Lo and behold, Philadelphia creep back, and good on them for doing so. Definitely want to give them the respect that is due to them. But that last 69 seconds, how do I explain this without disrespecting either team? Because I do believe that there are some people that are just going to say, well, Philadelphia gave the game away. And on some levels, that might be true. However, if you look, first of all, the offensive rebounds that they got, and then shovel the pass out to Jalen Brunson, who got one of the luckiest bounces. And the thing is, when I looked at the replay, and I still think this, Jalen Brunson was trying to step back behind the three-point line. Guys, I would need to see a close-up replay, because nobody all right, you can go. I have a sneaky suspicion that the 3-point field goal that Jalen Brunson was awarded, the one that bounced off the rim, popped straight up in the air, and then dropped in the net really neatly. I'd get the. I would not be surprised if they went back and they looked at it, that his toe was on the line, because when I saw it, I can see that he angled his right foot, right? He angled his left foot to really try to get his foot behind the line for the 3-point field goal. But I have a sneaky suspicion that the tip of his toe was touching the line. But they let it go for the 3, and the Knicks played really, really good ball denial defense on the ensuing inbounds pass. And I was watching the MSG broadcast, but later on I heard what the TNT broadcast was saying, and somebody just kept screaming over and over again, "Call timeout! Call timeout! Call timeout! Call timeout!" It might have been Charles Barkley. He just kept screaming, "Call timeout! Call timeout!" And they didn't. And this is where you could say that Philadelphia kind of gave the game away in some way. But the New York Knicks on that final play, because I heard somebody say, well, there was a foul that was committed, but on the inbounds play, the player who was trying, I forget who was trying to get the inbounds pass, he shoved off first. So if anybody's going to call any fouls, there was a dead ball offensive foul first before I think it was Josh Hart that kind of draped himself all over him. But on that play, what I saw, it looked like the Knicks were fighting to keep from being eliminated. Traditionalist said, and that's why clipping your toenails is important, kids. You're such an asshole. There was just a doggedness on that play. They're trying to move the ball out of the paint, and they get the ball out to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo misses a 3, and I'm like, well, that's it. It's over. And then Hartenstein. I mean, you're talking about, this is not skill. It's straight up desire. You want it more than the guy that you're fighting against. Sometimes you just want it more. We saw, was it Arm Sarukian when he was fighting off the submission from Charlie Olives? Charlie had him. And I was like, oh, well, that's over. And the dude was stuck in a head and arm, and he was just like, nope, I'm not going to tap. I'm going to force your body lock with the legs, your leg lock. I'm going to force that off. I'm going to turn in forcefully, and you're going to let this lock go. That was the New York Knicks last night. 100%. That was the New York Knicks last night. Hartenstein was like, I'm going to grab this rebound or die. Those are my options. He gets the rebound. They work it back. DiVincenzo has no conscience. None. I missed the last shot while it's in my hands. There's nobody within 10 feet of me. I'm going to let it fly. The dude didn't even hesitate. And the ball didn't even touch the net. That was I screamed in my bedroom, oh my God, I can't believe what I just saw. And then the defense that they played on the next possession, because I thought the Knicks were going to still end up losing the game by 1. And it was going to be like, damn, moral victory, but now you're tied 1-1, and now you've just given up home court advantage to a team that they really do legitimately think that they're better than the New York Knicks. And instead, they end up losing the game. And I text my friend my friend OG, and I was like, yo, how I don't want to be in that Philadelphia 76ers locker room. He said, they're probably in there pointing fingers. I'm like, nah, they depressed as hell. And then I saw Joel Embiid's comment when I got up this morning about how, it was unacceptable, and how he's like, yo, they're down 0-2. I mean, he might be right, but he sounded really salty. And he was, saying it was unacceptable and all that. We're going to win this series. We're the better team. And I'm thinking to myself, while that is possibly true, they could still win in 7 games or win in 6 games, because I think I had the Knicks in like maybe 6. I didn't make a prediction. But I thought that the Knicks would probably win the series, but I didn't really make a prediction. I'm just going to go out on the limb and say, because he made that salty-ass comment, I am now going to wish for Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers to get swept. I want to see the Knicks win by 15 in Game 3 and then win by 2 on a buzzer beater in Game 4 to sweep them out of the playoffs. So I can hear Joel Embiid talk about how they're going to win the series against the Knicks next year because they're the better team. He was so salty. Why you mad, son? Why you mad? The Knicks basically Reggie Millered the shit out of the 76ers. That's basically what happened. And I have to say the Knicks, because it wasn't like one guy scored 8 points in 9 seconds, right? But the tenacity and the never say die and the desperation of the New York Knicks in the final 30 seconds or so, when it looked like they were destined to lose. Extremely impressive. I still don't think that the Knicks are a very, very good team. In my opinion, I still don't think they're a good team. We're still not winning any championships. We're not getting out of the Eastern Conference or whatever. But I have to respect, and I've hated Thibodeau. I hate him as a coach. I still do. But I respect him a whole lot more now than I did before. Believe that. And I respect this team, and I respect the heart. And I think that sometimes grit and determination and soul can be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining, than just wild, never seen before skill, like what we saw with the Golden State Warriors, from 2015 to 2022. And that's my synopsis of that miracle finish last night. So I talked to you about 3 things today. I'm going to get up out of here because I need to eat. And then I got a client, and then I got a friend that is going to lift with me my second workout of the day. I'm going to hit that upper press first, then that flat press, and all of that stuff after a really difficult lift today. So I want to thank you guys for bearing with me and listening to me rant and talk about a whole bunch of different things. I will see you on episode 90. Jesus, take the wheel. Thanks so much, people. See you later. Hit the like button, all that stuff. All right, bye.